what a biblical fast is not, right? And firstly, a biblical fast is not a medical fast. What I mean by that is that, as you know, when they tell you that you have to do some kind of surgery, or if you're doing some kind of blood test, they would normally tell you that you you can't eat or drink anything for a period of number of hours, normally 8 hours, 10 hours, maybe even 24 hours. Nothing by mouth. If you're doing some kind of surgery or taking some kind of blood test, they will tell you that they don't want you anything in your system. Abstain from eating anything. And that is indeed a medical fast. And of course, there are medical ramifications of fasting, and we may talk about that later on. But this is a medical fast, right? And nothing to do a biblical fast, right? But I wanted to, as I said, this word fasting is used as multifaceted. There are so many different people that use this word fasting. But I want us to recognize that as the people of God, when we talk about fasting, that we are not really talking about a medical fast. And then, of course, there are spiritualists who fast. And what I mean by that is that people who don't necessarily believe in God, but they call themselves spiritual. And they would abstain from fasting. They would abstain from food. And they would say that they are doing that to be more centered or to become more in line with their spirits. It is not necessarily a fast from God, or biblical fast. This is someone who is highly subjective and spiritual and looking for some form of ecstatic or joyful adoration or explanation. But that is, again, not a biblical fast. And then, of course, there's a political fast. And if you may know what that means, we see this kind of fast, for example, when those war-torn countries, like if you think about India, Mahatma Gandhi, when he would have sat in front of the tanks before he led India and a great portion of Hindus on a hunger strike. So it's not a biblical fast, but a political fast. We have had our own share of political fast, even in Trinidad and Tobago. We had Dr. Wayne Kloblal Singh. During the highway, the building of the highway in Trinidad and Tobago in about 2014, he would have fasted or gone on a fast, a hunger strike for a period of, I believe it was 41 days. And he would have fasted on more than one occasion, right? He fasted even to the point that some thought that he would have died because he really lost a lot of weight and he really was really thin. When you look at when he had done that fast for that 41 period, which was done in 2014. But again, this is not a biblical fast, but he was really a political fast because he was fasting because he wanted them to stop the building of the highway because he was saying that it was encroaching on the mangroves, so it would affect the ecosystem and the animal life there, so that he wanted them really to find another way in getting the highway built a way around it, right? And again, he engaged in fasting to try to help sway the authorities to really stop the building of the highway, right? And as I said, there's also hunger strikes. You would see, we even had it in Trinidad and you see it in other places as well. When prisoners find that the condition is not good in the prison, they would engage in a hunger strike. They will not eat for a number of days. They're saying that they want their condition or their terms to get better. And they would engage in this hunger strike for a period of days, right? So again, it's not a biblical fast, but a fast at a period of time that they are fasting so that they can serve a particular purpose, right? So even Muslims, they participate during the month of Ramadan. They also go through their season of fasting as well. We have the Roman Catholics. They go through a period of fasting during the Lenten period where they give up some items, where one thing that they give up for the Lenten season. Again, they say that they are also engaging in some form of fasting as well. And when we look at fasting, we look at that, but we see that is really not fasting. So when we look at this fasting, we must be thinking that there's something really different when you look at fasting from a biblical point of view compared to a medical fast or a political fast or a hunger strike, or even those spiritualists who also engage in fasting. When you read in the Bible about fasting, although there is some similarity, it is not the same thing as those other types of fasts that I've mentioned here. When we look at the word fasting, in the Hebrew, it comes from a word called tsum, T-S-U-M, and it means to cover the mouth or to abstain from food.